The modern motorcycle industry wants you to buy useless junk. Dealerships want you trapped in their expensive service departments. But smart riders are fighting back. They are buying indestructible factory choppers and heavy cruisers. Today, we expose the 15 absolute most reliable choppers in 2026. These low-tech monsters never break down and will absolutely outlive you. I promise you, the final machine completely eliminates hand fatigue forever. Grab your helmets, let us begin. Number 15. The Yamaha Dragstar 400. In 2026, Yamaha shocked the globe and officially brought back the legendary Dragstar 400. If you want a motorcycle that looks exactly like Captain America's vintage ride from the 1940s but hides pure, unadulterated Japanese reliability, this is your absolute dream machine. It is a stunning, swept-back cruiser that absolutely refuses to die. Let us look at the specs. It features a 399cc air-cooled V-twin engine. It produces a perfectly manageable 32 horsepower and 24 pound-feet of torque. It breathes through modern electronic fuel injection and features a classic 5-speed transmission. The true mechanical genius of the Dragstar lies in its sheer simplicity. Because the engine produces relatively low horsepower, the internal connecting rods and forged pistons never experience catastrophic thermal stress or violent mechanical friction. Furthermore, it utilizes an enclosed shaft drive. You never kneel on dirty concrete to scrub toxic grease off a drive chain. You change the hub oil once a year and ride it into the zombie apocalypse. It is basically the Wolverine of entry-level cruisers. It constantly heals itself. A brand new 2026 model costs roughly $6,500. Used older models sit at $3,000. Classic styling is fantastic, but what if you want a custom-styled chopper built around a massive 900cc engine? The next machine is a rolling piece of dark art. Number 14. The Kawasaki Vulcan 900 Custom. If Bruce Wayne decided to abandon the massive, heavily armored Tumbler and ride a sleek, blacked-out factory chopper through the gritty streets of Gotham, he would choose the Kawasaki Vulcan 900 Custom. This motorcycle completely dominates the middleweight cruiser segment by offering aggressive, custom garage aesthetics straight from the Japanese factory floor. The specs command massive respect. It features a 903cc liquid-cooled V-twin engine. It produces 50 horsepower and nearly 60 pound-feet of torque. It utilizes incredibly precise digital fuel injection and a heavy-duty 5-speed transmission. Kawasaki builds this specific trim with a massive 21-inch cast front wheel and aggressive drag-style handlebars. Comfort is surprisingly premium. The seat height is an incredibly low 27.2 inches. The forward-mounted foot pegs allow you to stretch your aging legs on the highway, completely eliminating painful knee cramps. The heavy, low-slung chassis glides over terrible, shattered pavement with immense stability, making it incredibly easy to ride for long distances. A brand new 2026 model costs $9,500. A used model costs roughly $5,000. Batman loves blacked-out cruisers. But what if you want the high-tech precision wrapped in a classic boulevard bruiser? The upcoming machine is a technological marvel. Number 13. The Suzuki Boulevard C50. This is a heavy metal highway cruiser that looks like a vintage masterpiece, but runs with the clinical precision of a modern supercomputer. Let us talk about the specs. It features an 805cc liquid-cooled 45-degree V-twin engine. It produces 53 horsepower and 52 pound-feet of torque. It breathes through the brilliant Suzuki dual-throttle valve fuel injection system and utilizes a bulletproof 5-speed transmission. The true engineering genius of the Boulevard C50 lies in its advanced thermal management. The cylinders utilize Suzuki composite electrochemical material plating. This aerospace-grade coating dramatically improves heat transfer and completely eliminates internal piston friction. You can literally ride this machine across the scorching desert, and the internal engine components will never warp or fail. The enclosed steel shaft drive requires zero maintenance. You just press the starter button and conquer the continent. Comfort is absolute touring perfection. The seat height is a very manageable 27.6 inches. The sweeping wide pullback handlebars force the rider into a relaxed, perfectly upright posture, that permanently straightens the lower lumbar spine. The massive, incredibly wide saddle provides incredible, unrelenting support for hours of highway cruising. You can purchase a brand new 2026 model for $9,000. You can easily find pristine used models for $4,500. Heavy metal cruisers are comfortable, but what if you want a dark, stripped-down bobber that channels the absolute dark side of the Force? Hey, are you a hardcore Suzuki fan or a Honda loyalist? Let me know in the comments below. And while you are scrolling down there, lightly tap that subscribe button. It costs absolutely $0 and keeps our mechanical garage fully funded. Let us get back to the countdown. Number 12, the Honda Shadow Phantom. This motorcycle strips away the heavy, outdated chrome and the unnecessary touring accessories that add massive, dangerous top weight. Instead, it offers a raw, menacing, blacked-out bobber aesthetic that absolutely commands respect on the asphalt. The specs are focused entirely on legendary longevity. It utilizes a 745cc liquid-cooled 52-degree V-twin engine. It produces 44 horsepower and nearly 47 pound-feet of torque. It features an indestructible 5-speed transmission and modern programmed fuel injection. The Honda Shadow lineage holds the undisputed world championship title for mechanical immortality. The engine operates at incredibly low, relaxed RPMs, meaning the internal bearings and piston rings experience almost zero friction wear. The liquid cooling jacket keeps the heavily distressed V-twin perfectly chilled in the harsh summer heat. Paired with a maintenance-free enclosed shaft drive, you can basically neglect this motorcycle for years, and it will still fire up on the first press of the button. A brand new 2026 model demands a highly reasonable $8,400. A pristine used version costs a mere $5,500. The dark side is tempting, but what if you want the lethal precision and absolute focus of the Baba Yaga himself? The next machine is a rolling weapon. Number 11, the Indian Scout Bobber. This is an American muscle cruiser that hides a terrifying modern liquid-cooled powerhouse underneath a completely stripped-down, vintage aesthetic. The specs are brutally aggressive. It features a liquid-cooled 1,133 cc V-twin engine. It produces a massive 100 horsepower and 72 pound-feet of torque. It breathes through a massive 60mm throttle body and utilizes a flawless 6-speed transmission. Unlike traditional, sluggish, air-cooled American V-twins that constantly overheat and leak oil, the Scout Bobber relies on advanced liquid cooling and incredibly tight internal manufacturing tolerances. The engine is heavily overbuilt, securely sitting deep inside a rigid cast aluminum frame. Comfort is heavily customized for aggressive riding. The seat height is a microscopic 25.6 inches. The aggressive drag bars pull you slightly forward into a commanding attack posture. While the rear suspension travel is relatively short to maintain the hardtail chopper look, the low center of gravity makes the heavy motorcycle feel absolutely weightless when navigating slow-speed U-turns in a gravel parking lot. A brand new 2026 model costs roughly $12,500. Used models sit at $8,500. But what if you want pure, unfiltered muscle that completely destroys the rear tire? The upcoming chopper is a towering beast. Number 10, the Yamaha Raider. This is not just a chopper. It is a stretched-out, aggressively raked factory custom that completely disrespects the laws of physics. It is the absolute king of the Japanese muscle cruiser segment. The specs are the stuff of terrifying legends. It features an earth-shattering 1,854 cc air-cooled V-twin engine. It punches out 100 horsepower and an absolutely ridiculous 123 pound-feet of torque. It features a heavy-duty 5-speed transmission and a massive, thick belt drive to handle the brutal acceleration. Comfort is heavily tailored for tall riders. The seat height is 27.4 inches. The raked-out front forks and massive stretched wheelbase make this motorcycle incredibly stable in a straight line. It completely absorbs brutal highway imperfections. However, navigating a tight parking lot requires massive upper body strength. It is an unapologetic, massive machine for strong riders. Yamaha stopped producing it, but you can securely purchase a pristine used model for for roughly $7,000. It is an absolute steal for this level of mechanical dominance. Muscle cruisers are fantastic, but what if you demand the sophisticated, lethal elegance of a British spy? The next machine is pure class. Number 9. The Triumph Bonneville Bobber. James Bond never compromises on style, sophistication, or lethal performance. The Triumph Bonneville Bobber is the exact motorcycle MI6 would issue to 007. It provides classic 1940s hardtail styling wrapped around a high-tech liquid-cooled digital brain. The specs deliver massive British torque. It features a liquid-cooled 1,200 cc parallel twin engine. It unleashes 77 horsepower and 78 pound-feet of torque. It utilizes a slick 6-speed transmission, modern ride-by-wire throttle, and standard cruise control. Comfort is absolutely revolutionary. The Bobber features an adjustable floating aluminum solo seat mechanism. You unlock a heavy steel bolt and slide the entire seat pan forward and up, or backward and down. You literally tailor the exact seating geometry to perfectly match your specific arm reach and leg length. The hidden rear monoshock provides a surprisingly plush ride, completely masking the harsh, rigid frame aesthetic. A brand new 2026 model demands $13,900. Used models cost roughly $9,500. British elegance is stunning, but what if you want the absolute most reliable, hyper-practical commuter vehicle ever built? Quick pause. If you are loving these indestructible bikes, help click that like button. Tell me which chopper you would pick to survive the apocalypse. Let us keep the throttle pinned to the absolute maximum. Number 8. The Suzuki Burgman 400. Yes, it is technically a maxi scooter, but it provides the absolute supreme reliability and heavy-duty comfort of a full-size touring chopper in an incredibly practical package. The specs are brilliant. It features a 400cc liquid-cooled, dual-overhead, cam, single-cylinder engine. It breathes through advanced fuel injection and utilizes a fully automatic continuously variable transmission. Suzuki has perfected this specific 400cc engine over 2 decades. The liquid cooling system is incredibly overbuilt for a scooter, preventing any overheating in gridlock traffic. The automatic transmission completely eliminates clutch plate wear and catastrophic missed shifts. In 2026, Suzuki equipped it with a Raider selectable traction control system and an easy start system, making it an absolute mechanical fortress that refuses to leave you stranded. Comfort is where the Burgman destroys traditional motorcycles. The seat height is 29.7 inches. The step-through chassis means you do not even have to swing your aging leg over a high gas tank. The plush, exquisitely sculpted 2-up seat features a thick backrest that perfectly supports your lumbar spine. But the absolute best feature is the cavernous 42-liter under-seat storage compartment. You can easily fit 2 full-face helmets or a massive grocery haul inside. A brand new 2026 model costs $8,949. Pristine used models fetch $5,000. Maxi scooters are practical, but what if you want to join the Italian mafia with a sideways mounted engine? The upcoming Bobber is an exotic masterpiece. Number 7. The Moto Guzzi V9 Bobber. If the Godfather rode a motorcycle to a heavily guarded meeting, he would demand absolute respect and exotic Italian engineering. The Moto Guzzi V9 Bobber delivers unparalleled, exotic charm with the mechanical simplicity of heavy farm equipment. It is an incredibly unique machine that turns heads at every single intersection. The specs are radically different from American cruisers. It utilizes an air-cooled 853cc transverse V-twin engine. Moto Guzzi literally mounts the engine sideways, with the heavy cylinder heads poking out directly into the windstream. It produces 65 horsepower and 53 pound-feet of torque. It uses a heavy-duty 6-speed transmission. The transverse mounting provides perfect natural air cooling, completely eliminating the need for a fragile radiator, a failing water pump, or leaking coolant hoses. The motorcycle possesses far fewer moving parts to break down. Furthermore, Moto Guzzi integrated a heavy-duty enclosed shaft drive directly into the right side swing arm. You never lubricate a chain. The thick, overbuilt aluminum engine block is virtually indestructible. Comfort is incredibly light and nimble. Because the heavy engine mass is heavily centralized, the motorcycle feels incredibly light when you lift it off the side stand. The seat height is a comfortable 30.9 inches. The wide, flat handlebars give you massive leverage, heavily reducing shoulder fatigue in tight, low-speed turns. A brand new 2026 model costs $10,500. Used models fetch $7,000. Italian charm is excellent, but what if you want to wield power on the American highway? The next machine brings the thunder. Number 6. The Harley-Davidson Breakout. It is an incredibly long, low, and massively powerful factory custom chopper that completely dominates the highway with raw, unadulterated American muscle. The specs are terrifyingly powerful. It features the massive Milwaukee 117 cubic inch V-twin engine. It unleashes roughly 100 horsepower and an earth-shattering 125 pound-feet of torque. It breathes through a heavy breather intake and features a smooth 6-speed cruise drive transmission. Harley-Davidson engineered the modern Milwaukee 8 to completely fix the heating and reliability issues of past generations. The engine features 4 valves per cylinder and dual spark plugs, ensuring incredibly efficient and clean combustion. The internal counterbalancers heavily reduce destructive engine vibrations, preventing chassis welds from cracking and bolts from vibrating loose. It utilizes a massive indestructible belt drive that easily handles the terrifying torque. Comfort is strictly designed for straight-line highway dominance. The seat height is a low 25.6 inches. The Breakout features a massive 240mm rear tire and raked-out front forks. This makes the motorcycle incredibly stable at 100 miles per hour, but it requires serious physical effort to push through a tight canyon corner. The forward foot controls stretch you out into an aggressive, aerodynamic clamshell posture. A brand new 2026 model commands $22,500. Used models cost $18,000. The Breakout is a massive hammer, but what if you want a precise tactical strike weapon from Japan? The upcoming chopper is razor sharp. Number 5. The Yamaha Stryker. In 2026, Yamaha officially revived this legendary machine, blending incredibly stretched chopper styling with proven, indestructible V-twin performance. The specs command massive attention. It features a massive 1,300 4cc liquid-cooled V-twin engine. It produces roughly 73 horsepower and massive low-end torque. It features a smooth 5-speed transmission and an incredibly reliable belt drive system. The Stryker engine utilizes forged aluminum pistons and ceramic composite cylinder sleeves. These high-tech materials heavily reduce internal engine wear and dissipate heat perfectly. The liquid cooling system is cleverly hidden between the frame down tubes, maintaining the classic air-cooled chopper aesthetic while providing absolute modern thermal protection. Yamaha built this machine to log hundreds of thousands of miles with zero mechanical failures. Comfort is incredibly surprising for a factory chopper. The seat height is an ultra-low 26.4 inches. Despite the aggressive, raked-out 34-degree front steering angle, Yamaha engineered the triple trees perfectly, allowing the motorcycle to steer incredibly light at low speeds. The deeply scooped seat heavily supports your lower back, preventing intense fatigue during long highway pursuits. A brand new 2026 model costs roughly $12,500. Older used models sit at $6,000. The Stryker is sharp, but what if you want a massive, alien spacecraft that bends the laws of physics? The next machine is pure, unadulterated dominance. Number 4. The Suzuki Boulevard 109R. It is a massive, heavy, unapologetic display of raw mechanical dominance that completely crushes the competition at the drag strip. The specs are absolutely mind-blowing. The beating heart of this massive beast is a terrifying 1,783cc liquid-cooled V-twin engine. The forged aluminum pistons inside this engine are gargantuan. They stand as some of the absolute largest reciprocating pistons ever utilized in a production passenger car or motorcycle. It punches out 128 horsepower and a spine-compressing 118 pound-feet of torque. Suzuki overbuilt every single component to handle the brutal acceleration. It features a massive heavy-duty shaft drive system that transfers the terrifying torque to the massive 240mm rear tire without snapping. The engine utilizes Suzuki's legendary dual-throttle valve fuel injection, ensuring perfect, reliable cold starts and flawless throttle response. It is a mechanical vault. Comfort is completely tailored for heavy riders. The seat height is 27.8 inches. To somehow keep this heavy muscle cruiser planted in tight corners, Suzuki utilized premium upside-down sport bike front forks and massive radial-mounted front brakes. It sounds loud, it feels massive off the side stand, and it comfortably dominates the highway passing lane. A brand new 2026 model costs $16,000. Used models cost roughly $8,500. Thanos demands power, but what if you want an indestructible, skeletal machine sent from the future to protect you? The upcoming Harley is iconic. Number 3. The Harley-Davidson Softail standard. The Terminator, the T800, requires a machine that is completely devoid of unnecessary emotion, heavily built from cold steel, and absolutely impossible to kill. The Harley-Davidson Softail standard is the perfect mechanical compromise. It delivers the massive Milwaukee 8 V-twin engine in a completely stripped-down, raw, essential package. The specs are legendary. It features the Milwaukee 8 107 cubic-inch V-twin engine. It produces 86 horsepower and 110 pound-feet of massive torque. It utilizes a 6-speed cruise drive transmission and a heavy-duty belt drive. The Softail standard completely strips away the heavy, fragile fiberglass fairings, the massive touchscreen stereos, and the complex touring electronics. It offers pure, unadulterated Harley-Davidson muscle with zero digital fluff to break down. The modern Milwaukee 8 engine features a highly advanced oil cooling system targeting the hottest areas of the cylinder heads, ensuring the engine never overheats in gridlock traffic. Comfort is a masterclass in ergonomics. The seat height is a low 25.8 inches. What makes the Softail standard completely superior is the hidden monoshock rear suspension. It looks exactly like a vintage hardtail chopper, but the modern coil-over shock completely absorbs the brutal road imperfections perfectly. The mid-mount controls keep your aging legs active, allowing you to easily lift your heavy weight off the saddle when approaching a severe pothole. A brand new 2026 model costs $15,000. Used models cost $11,000. The Terminator loves steel, but what if you want a machine possessed by the hellfire of the Ghost Rider? The next machine is a rolling inferno. Number 2. The Honda Fury. The Honda Fury is the absolute craziest, most radical production chopper ever built by a Japanese factory. In 2026, Honda unleashed a heavily updated version that is completely shaking up the cruiser world. The specs are built for the Boulevard. It features a massive 1,312cc liquid-cooled 52-degree V-twin engine. It produces 54 horsepower and 73 pound-feet of torque. It features a 5-speed transmission and modern programmed fuel injection. The Honda Fury looks exactly like a $30,000 custom garage build that will violently leak oil and strand you on the highway. But underneath the incredibly stretched 32-degree steering rake and the gorgeous teardrop tank lies absolute Honda perfection. It utilizes a completely maintenance-free enclosed shaft drive. The liquid cooling radiator is brilliantly hidden between the front down tubes to maintain the air-cooled aesthetic. It is a wild, radical chopper that possesses the absolute reliability of a Honda Civic. Comfort is surprisingly excellent. The seat height is a super low 26.7 inches. Despite the massively stretched 71-inch wheelbase, Honda engineered the chassis to handle predictably at low speeds. The hidden single rear shock provides a smooth, comfortable ride, heavily masking the extreme hardtail look. A brand new 2026 model costs $11,499. Used models sit at $7,000. And now the final machine eliminates hand fatigue forever. Number 1. The Honda Rebel 1100 DCT. The Honda Rebel 1100 DCT is the undisputed king of modern, comfortable, pain-free cruising. The specs are heavily borrowed from a Dakar champion. Honda ripped the liquid-cooled 1,084cc parallel twin engine directly out of their legendary Africa Twin adventure bike and shooved it into a low-slung bobber chassis. It produces 86 horsepower and 72 pound-feet of torque. Honda overbuilt this engine to literally survive crossing the African desert. The parallel twin architecture is incredibly robust, heavily utilizing a 270-degree crank to perfectly mimic the aggressive rhythm of a V-twin. But the absolute magic, the reason this bike is number one, is the dual-clutch transmission. Comfort is completely redefined. There is absolutely no clutch lever. There is no foot shifter. The internal digital brain heavily manages the dual hydraulic clutches, shifting the heavy gears perfectly and seamlessly. You sit in brutal, gridlocked city traffic and never experience left-hand cramps or painful ankle fatigue. You just twist the throttle and dominate the asphalt. The seat height is 27.5 inches and the motorcycle weighs a feather-light 487 pounds. It features cruise control, wheelie control, and selectable ride modes. A brand new 2026 model costs $10,700. Used models sit safely at $8,000. The modern motorcycle industry is desperately trying to sell you fragile digital toys. But these 15 motorcycles prove that heavy steel, smart engineering, and absolute reliability will always win. Click on the next video to continue the ride. Join the tribe by subscribing to our channel. And don't forget to click that like button.